Hello out there, Dark Age of Camelot community. It is Josh from Dark Age of Camelot Fact, here with some fact checks on Tonka's statements on my YouTube over the last couple days after he used Altieri Stepper to ban my account. He claims he doesn't run out of power in this video because he has a power font. Mythical power regen at 30%, Serenity, increased his power pool and power pool cap, has 127 to Acuity on all the characters, augmented Acuity 9, which is 34 realm skill points. All right, Acuity spec buffs, comprehension pots, all right, potent effusion of omnipotence, shaman RR5 ability, and he's not in combat 100% of the time. All right, so first of all, let's go on to the video because we're going to go with the in-combat mechanics first, all right? When you make an attack on any enemy, regardless of whether the attack succeeds or not, because you took a combat action, you are placed in combat, your movement speed immediately drops to in combat versus the out of combat speed. All right. And you have to wait a full 10 seconds before you are considered out of combat. Now, you're probably wondering, why is that important? Okay. And the reverse is also true. If you pull aggro and an enemy sends an attack at you, it can be a spell and it can be resisted. It can be a melee attack or an archery shot that is evaded or causes damage. It will place you in combat and you will have to wait 10 seconds before you are out of combat. This is done to prevent people from attacking and immediately going into stealth. You will not be able to stealth while you are in combat. If you're a minstrel and you have a pet and the pet is attacking an enemy, it will place you in combat and you will not be able to stealth. All right. The other two things that affects is your endurance regeneration rate and your power regeneration rate. When you are out of combat with no realm abilities and no buffs, your endurance regenerates at 1 point per second. Your maximum without any item buffs is 100. All right, so each percentage on the gauge is 1 point. All right. Outside of combat, your power regen will regenerate 1 tick every 3 seconds. All right. A lot of what he's saying on the percentages are a percentage over the base rate, which I think is about 5 points per second. Now, when you go into combat, your power regen is only going to tick once every 10 seconds instead of every 3. This is done specifically to prevent him from doing what he's doing in this video. All right. So let's go ahead and see if it'll play the video. All right. So let's see here. That's me still clicking on everything. I'm going to have to fast forward here. Okay, let's see. All right, see the attacks, and you can see the Spirit Master swinging. All right, so let's take a look if I hold the camera long enough. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's an attack. So he's not in combat, or he's in combat. Any attack automatically resets the timer to 0. So he is not waiting the full 10 seconds, all right, to get out of combat. So between power font, we at Dark Age of Camelot Fact rate his claim liar, liar, pants on fire. Mythical power regen at 30% up next. Item search, Dark Age of Camelot. All right. Okay, mythical power regen of a value of at least once. This is every item in the game. All right. Every single item in the game that has at least mythical power regen of 1. But look, almost all the items are specific class items. All right. With exception to the otherworldly piercing gem, the infernal sleeves that came from the special event that I found in Divine Vengeance's Guild Vaults. There is the Cloak of the Loyal Friar, so the Friar gets a special cloak. There is a Cape of the Pictish Hero, all right, that has power regen, and of course, mythical items that go in your myth slot. So there's only 5 slots that you can put mythical power regen to get all 30%, and you have to be very specific unless you are using one of these specific items for your class, such as the Spirit Master or the Rune Master. All right. So, does he have 30%? Well, he doesn't indicate which items he has to get that 30%. So, we are going to rate his claim, because the mythical power regen of 30% is only 1.5 extra points per second, which means each tick would add 4.5 to 5 points, because it would round up, because you have to have a solid integer. So instead of getting 15 points every 10 seconds, he'd get 20. Not a big increase. We rate his claim as liar, liar, pants on fire. Next up, Serenity. All right, well, I just happen to have Serenity pulled up on the realm abilities, okay? It's a passive ability, which means it only works when you're not in combat, just like Long Wind. Long Wind does not work unless you are out of combat. All right. He would need 14 realm points to max it, according to Dark Age of Camelot's website. All right. Since he's in combat and he's not waiting more than 10 seconds before firing an attack at the enemies, that's not going to be a power regen help. Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right. Next, increase power pool and power pool cap. 127 equity, augmented equity 9, equity spec buffs, comprehension pots. Okay. I just happen to have my chat logs up. One from 2024 where he had the roleplay flag on, so we know he's using Altieri Stepper. So let's go down to the very last one before I got banned by his false AI and his BS and his false god. Okay, let's see. As we can see, Tonka Sham is on, and we know he has the program. So let's take a look. Now, I'm standing close enough that if he's using potent fusions of omnipotence and comprehension potions, I should be seeing it in my chat logs. So how's come he's not showing any potions being used? At which point we will rate the comp pots and potent of fusion of omnipotence. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Now, equity spec to augmented equity. Let's go to the video comments. Ethereal Bond is a waste of points. Now, he did not post this comment until after I asked him, how did he forget to mention it? And it took him almost 2 hours to respond. My comment was 19 hours ago. It's a waste of points. Really? Because Ethereal Bond, let's go back to those realm abilities and see what it does. It adds up to 200 points to your base power pool maximum. All right. I can guarantee you augmented equity 9 is not going to give you that bonus. All right. Ethereal Bond works just like toughness does for your hit points. All right. So we are going to rate his claim about increasing his stats. Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right, let's see. Going back up. Okay, what else do we have? Shaman Realm Rank 5 ability. Okay, that's another claim for why he's not running out of power. Let's see. Did the item search? Let's see. Realm rank, realm abilities. Restorative Mind. Shaman, realm rank 5, 10-minute cooldown. Group Frig that heals health, power, and endurance over 30 seconds for a total of 50%. 5% is granted every 3 seconds regardless of combat state. So, the ability lasts for 30 seconds. When I looked it up, this is actually out of date. It's supposed to be 45 according to Google's AI, but Google's AI is not always dependable. So I'm going to take Broadsword's definition as being accurate because the percentages and the math equal out. 3 times 10 is 30, 5 times 10 is 50. So let's go back to those comments. All right. Now, my video's 3 minutes and 25 seconds long. That's a lot longer than 30 seconds, even if that ability was affected by spell duration bonus. So we rate his claim of using the Shaman RR5 ability to prevent from running out of power for 3 minutes straight. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Good thing I didn't put any of the true ones up. Print the true ones up. I ain't going to need them on this video. All right. Now, let's see. He claims that he has vaults full of seals, but he's never farming anything. Like, he's never doing anything when he's online. Let's go ahead and do a little Control F. All right, we're going to go up, and I'm going to put Tonka Sham. All right, because he claims that I'm harassing him when I confront him. All right, so let's take a look at all the times, all right, that he's been online that I've left him alone. So here we are. This is a different day. All right. Look at all these times that I have not once bothered him. I've gone about my business. I've confronted other people in the process. But look, this is from August of 2020 or April of 2024. We got one from March of 2024. Let's see if he shows up. Oh, January 22nd. Oh, look, he's there. He's got the roleplay flag on. I didn't bother him. I went after Granzer to ask him what he was doing. Like, me and him were just bullshitting. I haven't seen him online in a while. But for somebody who's such a victim of my harassment, my chat logs sure are missing a lot of interactions that he probably makes up about me when I'm not around. Like, and I don't modify the files on that. That would just be stupid. Okay. Now, let's see. There's a final claim in this video. Where is it? Where is it? Where he tells me I have no understanding. Oh, you have a very poor understanding of how the game works. Well, considering I just blew all your bullshit lies out of the fucking water with proof and truth, we here at Dark Age of Camelot rate your claim as liar, liar, pants on fire. Now, let's go on Tonka's YouTube because he claims he has videos of him, like, you know, doing relics and stuff like that. So let's see what's on his on his YouTube channel. Oh, the only one where he's now bragging about banning me with Altieri Stepper. There's no other videos on the page whatsoever. So him having videos of him doing relics and keeps, liar, liar, pants on fire. I'll tell you, it'd be a lot more fun dealing with his lying ass if his pants really did catch on fire. Oh, why don't you show people how you tried to pull mobs into me multiple times, end up dying from the aggro you had, then accuse me of cheating? Oh, what that was is I ran a bunch of red and purple realm guards into his pack, and he didn't take a single point of damage before he killed all of them because he hacked his fucking spell resists so they can't resist the spells as often as they do against a regular level 50, and then tried to claim it was Mastery of Focus that does that. So let's go to Realm Abilities, Mastery of Focus. Mastery of Focus increases the level of all spells by the listed amount for outright resistance purposes caps at level 50. So his claim that mastery of focus is why he's able to damage reds and grapes at his full damage and hit them for over 1,000 points of damage on each PBAOE blast. Liar, liar, pants on fire. As always, folks, I mean, you get to make your own determinations here. I'm just going to put the evidence out there because I'm going to have to go roll a whole new account because these little assholes want to sit here and cry victim. Well, if you stop lying through your fucking teeth and admit who in the federal government's responsible for this shit show so I can have them prosecuted, we'll all get on with our day and get along much better. Or you can keep lying and doing shit the fucking hard way, and I can keep posting the videos. I'm hoping law enforcement's watching, and if I'm interpreting things correctly around me, they are. And the harder you make it for the law enforcement to bust all your asses, the stiffer the fucking penalties are going to be when you get to court. I got one more bonus for the end of this video. All right. Because my guess is the IRS, the FBI, Ottawa Police, Passaic County Sheriffs, and Interpol all have a warrant. None of you have a warrant. And you work for the government. So the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution says you need a warrant. Let's see what the total population of the U.S. as of the 2020 census count. Okay, while this is pulling up, remember, folks, the only difference between the government and organized crime is one of them is organized. 331,449,281 people in this country alone that you can use your illegal surveillance and your bullshit to fuck with. And when all your asses are sitting in prison, remember this very one important part. You people pick the one person out of all those fucking people, and that's a lot of people, that hates the fucking government, actually likes the Internal Revenue Service, and loves playing video games. Thanks for watching.